Right, so as you can see from the title, this is a little tag video from our very own Lizzie, Rose and Jones. Do go check out her channel. She's kind of fantastic. She's got lots of bougie collection videos, bougie hauls, bougie new buys, bougie bottles, bougie tastes. Lots of the poshest bottles you will ever see around. You know, everywhere from Louis Vuitton to Rogers to, you know. No, Lizzie has quite an eclectic taste. We most certainly do not always agree. We have, very rarely, we have loves that we both like, but generally speaking we're a bit lemons and oranges, which, you know, brings me back to mine and Lizzie's kind of little bit of difference there. Anyway, that's enough bigging up Lizzie. Do go check out her channel. She's fantastic. To be quite honest, it's very unlikely you follow my channel and don't watch Lizzie, really, isn't it? But anyway, this is all about like 4 sides of scenting our personalities, which is, yeah, little kind of aspects of us, the main aspects of us, I suppose. It's a good video idea. Obviously go check out Lizzie's and everybody else who's done the tag. At the time of making this video, I don't know who that is, but yeah, alright. So the first up kind of thing on my personality list is it's probably the kind of trait I suppose is most associated with me, although I don't really get where people kind of are coming from with it. And it's the most obvious fragrance because, you know, it's me. I'm not too sure how the two go together, but because they're both most me, yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? Somewhere there's a way into these woods. But yeah, anyway, there's apparently I'm cynical and kind of, you know, a bit grumpy. I just think I'm a realist, really, and people might say I'm a glass half empty kind of guy. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? A glass is never going to be half full, is it? It doesn't fill up by magic, but it can evaporate into nothing, can't it? So I don't have an issue with that. I'm a realist. I don't know, I don't think I'm always grumpy, am I? I think I'm a ray of sunshine. Hang on, this is all very crunchy. Right, I'm back. Walked over them crunchy leaves, which are still crunchy. You just have to get used to it. But yeah, obviously the fragrance probably most people associate with me is a Dupes Homme. Now this is a big, see what I mean? This is a big, sweet, beautiful, bombastic party scent. It kind of changed the world of fragrance. It's very androgynous, which I guess kind of suits me. It doesn't need labels or stupid traditional boundaries and all of that. We are who we are and we wear what we love. So I think Dupes Homme is just perfect for me in that sense. Where's it kind of going with the cynical side of it? I suppose, yeah, it does make sense because some people, for some reason, don't like this fragrance. You see it as being quite, you know, not loved, and they find it quite loud and brash and synthetic. Because of course modern fragrances nowadays, you know, like your Sauvages, your Bleu de Chanels, are an absolute paragon of natural perfumery, aren't they? So yeah, I think people pretend not to like it. But Dupes Homme is a legend. I'm not saying I'm a legend, but yeah, it fits the cynical me, if you like. So cynical, grumpy John. Next up is a kind of natural, pagan-y, great outdoorsy country bumpkin John, who's like, you know, I wouldn't say I'm spiritual really, but I'm meditative. I'm in touch with nature. It's where we all come from, isn't it? If there is any sort of religion and gods, then this is it. I mean, they keep us alive, they look after us despite our constant abuse of them. So yeah, I would describe myself as quite an in touch with nature kind of geezer. And what I've picked for that is Jasmina from April Aromatics. Now this fragrance is, well, it's obviously all about the jasmine, but it's the most beautiful natural kind of jasmine you can get. It's all the indoles, all the sweetnesses, all the greenness. There's other florals in there to kind of give it this kind of feeling, but predominantly it's just jasmine. And jasmine itself is quite a relaxing, quite an intoxicating flower of love and nature and that kind of spirituality. It's used in lots of different cultures and faiths, isn't it? Incense and the actual flowers for all different reasons. So that's Jasmina from April Aromatics, to kind of represent the more in touch with nature side of myself. I mean, if there were stone circles here, I'd happily get naked and dance around them, give old ladies nightmares, and just live out in the wild if I could. Except in this country it's probably not wise. You know, you'll get scooped up and deported, most likely. So yeah, from April Aromatics is Jasmine. Now of course there's a kind of gothy, dramatic, melancholy kind of side of me, of darkness, and I like all that sort of thing, don't I, really? Again, it goes with the cynicism a little bit, doesn't it? But in a kind of friendly, a goth light way, isn't it? A kind of melancholy light. Somebody who appreciates all the aesthetics, the beauty of it all, the great imagery, the great kind of artistic kind of feel of all of that, but also has a bit of fun, you know, a bit of life. I wouldn't be a goth who always wore black. I always wear colour. My favourite colour's pink, isn't it, for example? So I'm a kind of, yeah, a modern day version of that. Yes, I am very lost, by the way, I think you can tell that. But the fragrance I picked for that is Opus 3 from Amouage. Now this is one of the best purple fragrances I've ever smelt. It's Amouage, so it's got that everything about it, if you get what I mean. It's done to perfection. There's also other notes in there. There's mimosa brightening it up. Is there honeysuckle? And obviously the resins and the violet are kind of the big player of it, and it's just this kind of musky, beautiful violet. It's dark and it's brooding and it's, you know, wondrous and all of that you'd expect from a violet, but it also has a friendliness about it, an approachability, a kindness. It's just a magnificent violet-y fragrance, basically, and I think that kind of describes that side of me. So that's Opus 3 from Amouage. And finally, I think there's a bit of a kind of, despite my cynicism and darkness, I think there's a bit of a hopeless romantic in me, isn't there, really? Someone who kind of hangs on to them old-fashioned kind of ways of life and thinks, you know, everything could one day be like a fairy story, like a Jane Austen novel, with a bit of raunch and you know, kinkiness and chains and vampires in it. So yeah, what I've picked for that is because, you know, we all have a kind of wanting to be happy and things to used to be as good as they were in our days. Is honey oud. Why have I picked honey oud? Seems a bit weird, doesn't it? But it's ultimately this just ridiculously smooth, luxurious, kind of tender, kissy, snuggly one. But it's quite quiet. It's not an in-your-face one. It's just a kind of whisper. It's just that kind of the memories of the good times and the snuggles and the kisses whilst it was good, before it all went evil. And yeah, we know how relationships work out, don't we, in the end? And this perfectly kind of describes that journey, the good old days when we were young and it was fresh and exciting, and the honey and the woods kind of give that nature, a little bit of nature about it. There's musks giving it that kind of animalic, slight innocent charm there. So yeah, that's a honey oud from Floris for my kind of hopeless romantics. And a bonus one is obviously it's a Lizzie tag, so I'm gonna have to scent Lizzie, aren't I? And I've picked different things in the past, and you know, different ideas, but what I've gone for is one we share in common. One, I think I might have done this last time, but we'll stick with it still, is a Bouquet Encore from L'Orchestre Parfums, and this is a kind of, to me, is orange blossomy. To Lizzie it smells really purple, which is weird, but to me it's a kind of golden orange sunset, which is just that's something else as well why it's kind of special, is because me and Lizzie do see things from completely the other side. Hang on a second, are these hyacinths? Are these bluebells? If these are bluebells, this is not on camera me. They're nothing, they're kind of, these must be the Italian ones that don't smell. No idea. Didn't pick them, nobody saw that. Anyway, the point is Bouquet Encore is a big blast of pepper, a big blast of personality and spice and that kind of character, and that's very much Lizzie. Sometimes she's quite fiery, she's quite outspoken, she's quite strong opinions, but underneath that is a kind of warmth and a kind of loveliness, and it despite us arguing sometimes about this and that, we do still remain friends. Probably one of my oldest in this, and sometimes one person who's always kept me here and coming back and doing this, and has inspired an awful lot, as you can tell. So yeah, for Lizzie is Bouquet Encore for all of them reasons. It's also quite posh, I mean, come on, and it's got a very French name to make it even posher, and our Lizzie is a southerner and they speak with pretty much French accents and French words. So yeah, it was just a quick one. There was no need for an extensive explanation like this. For Lizzie, as it's her tag, Bouquet Encore for all the reasons above. So if I ever make it out of this jungle alive, where I'm not really sure where I am or where I'm going, etc., then thank you for the tag, Lizzie, and don't need to waffle on. It's just all the different sides of your personality. It's a bit of fun, and it's a bit of fun matching them. Even though I'm not entirely satisfied or happy, mine really did match all that well this time. But it makes sense to me. Alright folks, thanks for watching. What about yourself? What fragrances would scent your different sides of your personality? I mean, you could be the complete opposite of me, a sort of a happy, smiley, positive, thinks the world's fantastic kind of person, and you might still pick Dupont because it's just a legendary classic. Anyway, thanks folks, bye.